Yeah, I mean, that's what this program is about. I don't think it's big at all. Obviously, it's a big deal right now in the moment, but that's what Oklahoma is. That's why I came here. It's championship U. November. That's what you come here for. It's going to be the first time I think they've had a home game in December. So, to go 1-0 in that category in relation to that is going to be huge. And like I said, this is what we came here for. So you got to know what you're doing, and it's a blue blood game. So you got to go out and win it.
How excited are you to see the crowd?
Yeah, I'm excited. Like I said, I could be wrong, but I truly don't believe there's ever been a game played here in December. So I think the fans are going to be rallied up. I mean, it's like Friday Night Lights, the opening scene of that movie. You got season tickets, going to the game. A lot of you probably don't know that, but got a dog named Panther, cat named Mojo, over West Texas. But that's kind of what Friday's going to be next week. So it's going to be exciting.
I know Peyton Bowen said it's a little weird waiting this long between games, but for you, is it good just being banged up at the end of the year?
Yeah, it's huge. It's kind of like that bye week right out of Tennessee. Couldn't come at a better time than just for me and my body. But, everybody's going to use this bye week. They've had guys banged up. We've had guys banged up. So it's definitely important to get it, but you can't use it in your mindset as an off week.
Do you take that into account, though? I mean, knowing that they're going to be as healthy as they
Yeah,
are.
you have to. And they're going to come with a fire lit on them for sure. They just played in the SEC championship game and didn't really play their best, some might say. So they're definitely going to come with their fire lit.
For you, just feel like it's full circle. You talk about just the moment that this entails. The first time they played a game in December, home game in December, your recruiting process, went kind of back and forth. But you feel like this kind of went full circle for you?
Yeah, 100%. Right on time, right on cue for a lot of guys that, this is on the back end of our time being in Oklahoma. So when you commit to this place and you put everything in that you possibly can, this is what you hope to see and hope to get. Every opportunity that we had this year in every game, this is kind of what you play for and what you want and desire when you come to Oklahoma.
Kobie, I think everybody looked at this linebacker group and said, as a group, this is the best that we've seen under Brent. Is there some disappointment, like the guys weren't more recognized in the SEC?
It is what it is. Obviously, it's definitely frustrating, but it is what it is. People have their opinions. They're like toilets, PG version, but, it is what it is. Kind of got to live with it, and you got to have belief in yourself and know what this group is about. On our bye week, a lot of us guys went around and we just watched football kind of in person, and we saw what people might consider might be the best linebacker group. I'm not going to say who, but it just wasn't, in my opinion, it wasn't comparable to us in comparison to what you get. So, I don't care, honestly.
Do you think it helps that you've played at Alabama before and maybe seen some of their stuff this season?
To some extent, I think it's going to be a battle of who prepares better, is what Coach Beneville said, and I believe that the same way. Like I said, those guys, they in every category statistical, they beat us at their place. So, they're getting preached over there that, we should dominate these guys this time around, and it shouldn't be close. So, like I said, they're going to come ready to play. Didn't really go really good for them in the SEC championship game, so they're going to come ready to play.
Kobie, when you've been matched up against the offense in practice, have you seen a shift while they've been preparing for this game?
I wouldn't say a shift, man. They've been doing the same thing they've been doing. They've been really good and really consistent. And at the right times, right time, the right moment, it just has to click for them. And like I said, I say this every Monday. At some point in time, Isaiah Zatanian is going to make a play. You can bank on it. So, they just got to keep their rhythm and don't get out of sync or rhythm, and they'll be just fine.
Kobie, do you feel like the way the last month played out, the close games you guys played, the good teams you played, that has prepared you guys well for this run in the playoffs?
Yeah, I think that's why they made our back half schedule the way it was. You're in a big game every week, and so you wouldn't want it any other way. It prepared you, like you said, for the run that you're going to go on. You're going to face those teams that, in the back half of our season, were playoff teams until we played them. So it definitely prepares you for the stretch that you need to go on and are going to go on.
Do you feel like this is the closest team you've been on since getting to Norman?
Yeah, probably my whole life. You just don't really see it. Guys that genuinely care about each other, and it's crazy to think that we were only together for a year, but I think it's from the top down of guys just that belief and true character of loving one another. When the younger guys see the older guys do that, that's when the program is being built. And not to say that it wasn't there when we got here, but I would say that it wasn't as a whole. On both sides of the ball per se, or even just in every single room. A lot of people felt like that the person next to them were trying to take food off their plate or something like that. But, this is definitely the closest team that I've been a part of.
Kobie, when those SEC honors came out today, Tate was named Special Teams Player of the Year. What have you seen out of him as a teammate this year?
I knew it. If you would have asked me when that dude first got here if he was a kicker, I would have told you no. I mean, the dude walked in with his gold chain out and nothing really fazed him, and he just wanted to keep kicking the ball. So when you got a guy like that who has swagger at the kicker position, man, you know how confident he is in himself, and you don't really see that ever, honestly. In my opinion. I don't think I've ever seen a kicker act that way. So when I saw him act that way, I knew he was going to be a special guy.
What do you think where does that come from? Because it's such a high pressure gig, obviously, and his calm just seems uncanny.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. If I knew, I'd ask him to spill a little bit of the sauce. But I don't know. He's a special dude, man. Really, really good dude. And like I said, the coaches have done a really good job of bringing in guys who fit the personalities of the guys that are already part of the team.
What was y'all's reaction whenever Alabama popped up as the guys that you guys were going to play next?
Yeah, I was shook, to say the least. I was arguing with all the teammates saying, they don't really want to see a rematch. They want it to be a playoff atmosphere. So, not to say that it won't be, but they kind of want to get people out of their chairs. But in their minds, they might think the same way. A lot of people felt as if we didn't necessarily beat Alabama, so they kind of wanted to see what they do in the game against us again. So, everybody out there came out. We embraced it, and we look forward to it.
You played a lot of football here, but this environment that's coming up this Friday, or the Friday that you're going to play the game, everybody thinks it's going to be incredible. What do you think?
I think it's going to be incredible too. I don't know what Texas Tech team that was that came here and played, and I think they were like the hottest team in the country that year. And I mean, every time that video pops up on my phone, I mean, it's just rocking. I truly don't know what year it is or who it is. I know we had like Michael Crabtree at Tech or something like that, but it's just like, it's insane. So I know it'll be 10 times as loud as that. So I look forward to it. It's definitely gonna be fun.
You brought up the fact that there are a lot of people that don't think you guys quote unquote beat Alabama. Does that fuel you guys?
Sure, to some extent, but like I said, everybody has an opinion. We really don't care. We know what went down in that game, and for the fact of the matter, we didn't have to make it close either. We did a lot of things in that game that neutralized us. Like, for example, me not picking up the fumble. But luckily enough, we got a pick six the next play. But there was a lot of things in that game that we didn't have to make close, and we could have got off the field in certain situations. But like I said, everybody has opinions.
You expect a game like this, 3 games in 2 years like this, you've won them all, this to be a pretty chippy game?
Oh, yeah, I can. This is probably going to be chippy. Probably. It will be. Because there's a lot on the line. It's win or go home. And I look forward to it. I love it. It's kind of dog-eat-dog mentality, and you got to have it. And those guys are coming ready to play. I know that.